So we're going to need to make a drawing file for this step remover that we just 3D modeled. So let's look at where we're going first. We have multiple views of our part. We have dimensions to help us understand more about it. We have a top right isometric view so we get a good 3D image of it. Down here in the bottom we have information about it. So we have the name of our part, we have the size of paper, scale that we're using, so this is twice the size of what it is, the date that we made this on, who the person is that was the designer, the sheet number, and so I can add additional sheets to this up here and just add all my parts onto that, and the revision number that we have here. This is on a template that we have for the first year engineering program at the University of Kentucky, and I can click import here. If I've downloaded it, I can select it here and open it. And then when I go and try to make a drawing file, I should see it right here to work with. One thing to know is that we're not terribly caught up with you using the exact drawing file. It just kind of makes things look a little nicer. Once I have that in place, I can start building my views and bringing in the part. So I'm going to bring the stepper motor. And then it's going to immediately allow me to project that into different directions. So I go up here to the top. I'm going to add 2 more views. Here it is to the side. And then 1 more, which is my isometric. That looks a little big, and so I'm actually going to double click on it, and I'm going to change the scale. Also, before I get going, I'm going to add my name for this, which I'm just going to delete those lines and type in step remover. And this is my first revision. To start adding information, I'm going to start adding some lines that allows to know if things are round or not. And I'm just going to use the midpoints on those. And then I'm going to use the top and bottom line here. And what I've just added is center lines, because this is a round object and it looks square in this view. We need a center line to allow us to know that. I can then also add center marks to all the items that are round, and that allows me to dimension from them. I'm then going to start adding in some dimensions, which if I want to do a radius, I can just sort of click on the edge and pull the radius out. I can do the same thing for a diameter if I so desire. If I want to do a height off a point, I can select 1 point and then select another point. One good thought about dimensioning is thinking about what do I need to know to be able to develop the part. And 2, trying to put your dimensions when possible between the views that they apply to. And so if I'm looking at this and trying to figure out the height, it's really nice if this 0.7 is there. It's also nice to sort of stack some dimensions here and there. So I can go between this point and get my 1.55, but then I can also go between this point and get my 0.75. And just stacking those heights makes it a little bit nicer rather than having one on this side and the other on the other side. Instead of having you watch me add all these dimensions in, I'm just going to bring up what the final view is going to look like, and you can add those in similarly. And know that the way things are dimensions drastically changes between who the designer is, and we're not truly focused on you getting all the dimensioning rules down, but just more so trying to communicate how your design is scaled to another individual. Here's what the finished version looks like.